Down.
Hello?
Hi, Angelo.
Yes?
My name is Sandy. I'm from American Income Company. I talked to you yesterday about insurance benefits through your brother Mark, Local 51. By the way, is your wife here?
Yes?
Okay, because these benefits apply to her as well. Do you mind if we go have a seat at the table?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, here. If you don't mind, you sit there. I'll sit here. Now, did you talk to Mark to find out what he has done for you and your family and why I'm here today? Okay, well, let me back up and let you know what's going on. As you know, your brother Mark, he's a member of Local 51. I don't know if you're familiar with unions like firemen, electricians, teamsters, and federal employees, but I'm sure that you've heard that they have the best benefits out there, right?
Yes.
Okay, American Income Life is a unionized company that provides these benefits to all their unions and associates. Okay, Mark, being in good standing with his Local 51 and AIL, he was allowed to extend some of these American benefits to his family members and those close to him. Do you know the difference between temporary benefits and permanent benefits? Well, let me let you know that while we work, we have great benefits, but when we leave, quit, or retire, we lose all or bulk of them within 31 days. However, your brother Mark did an amazing thing for you. If you qualify today, you will now have permanent benefits that will follow you. And so no one will ever be able to take them away. So make sure to thank him. All right? Now, Angelo, what do you do for work?
I'm Sarai.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
7 years.
Okay, and your wife Olivia?
She does makeup.
Okay, for how long?
4 years.
Okay, now here's a copy of the letter from Local 51, okay, and here, basically, when I'm finished as well, they will have you fill out this report card, and it will go back to AIL so they know that I've been here and done my job. Is that fair?
Yes.
As the letter explains, they have me out for here for 3 reasons: to inform you about food banks, to explain the benefit package that you qualify for, and to see if you qualify for anything permanent that they have set up for you and your family members. Now, let me ask you, have either of you ever been unemployed or laid off?
No.
Okay, the reason I ask is because American Income, they collect food for members in their time of need. This way, they keep the food banks working, and we here are a members' home. They ask us if we would like to donate a can or two. Okay, so if that is something that you would like to do, let me know before I leave. Now, here is a $2,000 AD&D certificate, and this covers you when you die for any type of accident. American Income is a company that covers these benefits for you. It's non-contributory or non-participating, which means you don't have to pay for it, nor do you have to qualify for it. Because Mark extended these benefits to you, it's already been taken care of. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, here is where you put the beneficiary. As far as like Angelo, you put your wife information and vice versa. And now here as well, we have our discount card. And this is health discount card. This is not health insurance. Okay, but this card is at no cost and will give you discounts on visions, prescriptions, hearing, and chiropractor. And here are service numbers. There's a website included, okay, in the middle section. There's additional benefits as well, but this one does add an additional cost of $24.95, but that is a year. It's not a month, it's a year. So this is not bad. I had a last member that I had gone to, actually, she just renewed it, and she saved over $140 on glasses. So take a look, and then as far as the members, or the providers, are like CVS and Walgreens. And here, okay, now, are you, these are child safe kits. Are you familiar with Amber Alerts?
Yes.
Okay. And of course, police in our communities are actively searching for 2,500 children each and every day. This is a vital tool. Heaven forbid that something happens to your child. Okay. So just fill out all this information, put a local or a most current photo, and then you put the scars and stitches or braces, glasses, whatever. And here is the fingerprint, and just place that information, and in pencil you put the weight and height, because of course they do tend to grow at that time. And then here you put clippings, nail clippings, and put it in the refrigerator and keep this as well. would not in the refrigerator, in the freezer, because as well this is very good. Okay, so have you guys a will set up? No, okay, because this is what is known as Family Information Guide, and it is not a will, but this is very important to fill out, so when something does happen to you, your family will know exactly what to do. After you fill this out, you will want to put it in a safe place. There's one for each of you, and on top is where you put your vital information, okay, as far as your name, your birthday, your social, and have either of you been in the military? All right, and then of course right here, persons to be notified. This is most important part. Do you know that millions of dollars go unclaimed in life insurance each year because either the family doesn't know about the insurance, or they don't know how to make a claim, or the company just can't find the beneficiary? So what AIL is saying that you put down 5 people each that are in your local area that will be able to help your family out immediately when something does happen to you. So who are the top 5 people in your local area that can help in the event of emergency or death? I mean, it could be like family, friends, neighbors, co-workers. Okay, that information? All right, and then as well right here is your estate information goes here. Now, do you guys have life insurance outside of work? No? Okay. And of course, here you put your financial institute. Do you have savings or checking?
Yes.
Okay, so that information here because when you die, someone in your family does have to close your accounts. And here, of course, is your final services and final request. This is very important. Have either of you ever had to plan a funeral? Do you want cremation or burial?
We're not sure yet.
Okay, well, either way, it's very expensive. So remind me before I go, because part of this program does take care of your final expenses, but you will need to qualify for that. So do you see why this is very important guide? Is important? Okay, now because your brother, Mark, is a member, once again, of good standing with Local 51, they're allowing you to extend the same no-cost package benefits to people in your life that are going to help when something happens to you. So they're also going to be receiving this $2,000 AD&D certificate, the health service discount card, the family information guide, and child safe kit on their own. Now, but they do have to qualify. They do have to be 21 years of age, here, live in Texas, and be employed. And most members do extend these to their brothers, sisters, parents, friends. Now, how many brothers or sisters do you have? Okay, and who's the oldest?
Mark.
Okay, I already spoke to him. All right, so your other brother, okay? All right. So how about his address, please?
75448 Stevens.
Okay, so I am going to do text, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to text you something, and if you can do is just please text this on over to family members that you wish to be able to get these benefits as well. And but for anything, can you dial your brother's number? And once you get him on the line, I will take the phone, please. And you said his name was Don?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just talk to him and let him know that I'm on the phone.
Oh, hi, Sandy from AIL is here.
Okay.
She wants to speak to you.
Okay, thank you. Don, hi there. Yes, I'm with your brother Angelo here, and I'm from American Income, and they do many of the permanent insurance benefits for police officers and firefighters and veterans, and I'm sitting here once again with your brother, and he's arranged for you to receive a no-cost AD&D policy and benefit package. So my job is to get delivered to you, and so you could have them as permanent record, and if something was to happen to you. This certificate is coverage, and I need to just drop it off. Can I set an appointment with you? I'm going to be here out of your brother's in about less than 40 minutes. Can I make an appointment with you? About an hour? Sounds great. Thank you so much. Okay. Angelo, Olivia, since you didn't find out exactly what your brother Mark did for you, I'll back up. Okay? Now, as they mentioned in the letter, there's a program that they set up. Okay? And this is from the neighbor people need. So they asked us to read this letter to each of the members, and since Mark sponsored, and so I'll read it to you, okay? And then so you see, the reason that they've chosen to do this program is because the unions, they realize that typically 31 days after you leave your job, get laid off or retire, okay, all your packages, within 31 days are gone. And these are permanent, portable insurances, and if you qualify, you could keep them for the rest of your life. Pretty nice, huh? In fact, they don't just work with police, firefighters, teachers. They work with over 40,000 groups, and our A1 Plus and our over 5 million members are enrolled. So they must be doing something, right? Wouldn't you say? Okay. But just because your brother Mark extended these benefits to you doesn't mean that you automatically qualify or are allowed to enroll. You do have to qualify. If you're at high risk, they don't let you in. So they have me ask you a couple of questions. Now, have either of you had an arrest or any DUIs? Have either of you used any tobacco or marijuana in the past 12 months? Have either of you had any health issues in your lifetime? Family history of cancer, diabetes, or heart disease? Okay, so based on what you've told me, I'm not sure if you qualify, but you do have a chance. So at least, let me explain the benefits to you. The needs analysis determines and based on three things: family situation, benefits you already have, and income. So what they have me do is ask a couple of questions to see what you might qualify for. Okay. Now, Angelo and Olivia, did Mark fill you in on the Hour Power program?
No.
He didn't? Okay. Well, this Hour Power is a very old principle that says that members should take at least the first hour of their weekly wage and set it aside to protect themselves and provide for their family's future. Now, 1 hour of your wage each week is roughly 1/40 of your income, right? And that's not going to change your lifestyle, is it? Of course not. Any financial planner will tell you to set aside 10 to 15% of your income. Your program is based on 1 hour, which is only 2.5, so all of the members can afford it. Now, providing that you qualify, they also allow you to set aside between $20 to $100 each week. Each member has different situations and different wages. What I'm obligated to do is show you what setting aside 1 hour combined will do for this kind of protection and what it will provide. Then when I'm done, okay, AIL would like you to have the opinion on this report card, and this goes directly back to them. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you make an hour, Angelo?
$16.50.
Okay, and Mary, what do you make?
$14.30.
Okay, what I'm going to show you is what's setting aside, and that's about $30. Okay, what's setting aside just $30, like any enrollment period that's provided, it could qualify you. There are forms that need to be filled out in person, so while I'm here, that's something that we can take care of and not over the phone. So be sure to stop me if you have any questions. All right, is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, now they're concerned with three major areas, okay? And these three major areas are accidental injury, final expenses, paycheck protection, all right? The first area that they're concerned is when you are injured in any type of accident. Have either of you ever thought about what you will do if you get injured or in an accident? Okay, well, the Labor Advisory Board and American Income have given it a lot of thought. The concern isn't what medical bills, because they'll be taken care of. Your health insurance takes care of that. When it's job related, that's why there's workman's comp, and of course a lot of members do have some form of disability. What they're concerned with is lost wages and other expenses that start adding up. Okay, now Angelo, when you end up in the hospital, and even though your medical bills are taken care of, okay, there's no one there to pay to be there. Okay, as far as like your wife, Olivia, when you get that phone call, obviously you won't be working either because you'll be by his side, and vice versa. God forbid something happens to your children. In this case, nobody's working, right? Okay, now Angelo, when you or even Olivia or any of your kids get hurt or going to the emergency room, you're going to need to be by their side. Okay. Well, they set an amount. They set an amount here of $100 just for you taking them to the hospital, and that would be for each and every day. Okay, and now let's say that when the money. So the only exception is that when you stay overnight, okay, they're going to send you double that. Okay, that's $200 for every day that you are in the hospital for up to a full year. That ends up, to being at least $700 a week. Now, let me ask you, when your money comes in, and wouldn't that help your family?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the only exception is that when you have to stay in intensive care, that's when they do send you over $300 per day, okay, but for up to 2 full weeks. The reason that it's only 2 weeks is because usually when it's in intensive care, it's usually a life or death situation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the second area that they're concerned is with your final expenses. Now, Angelo, who is going to be responsible to take care of your funeral expenses when something does happen to you? Now, let me ask you, have either of you ever had to plan a funeral? The reason that I ask is that it's very serious. Now, the concern is not the fact that you're going to die, because we all are, right? But when someone in our family has to face a funeral director immediately, funeral directors these days, they require all or both of the money up front on the spot before they even start doing anything. Okay, so at least they want to know as well where the money is coming from. So, do you realize that? A lot of people don't. So, while your family is still waiting for the life insurance to come in, okay, who has been taking care of this time, that's right, family. Okay, so either way, you have to take the money from savings, or you, at worst case, you have to borrow from it. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
So now, what they're done is set up is a freedom of choice certificate to take care of your final expenses. If you qualify, each of you will receive your own certificate that looks just like this. Now, this will call it a freedom of choice because it's good at any funeral home. The way this works is when something does happen to you, Angelo, or you, Olivia, you take the certificate to any funeral home of your choice, and when the funeral director, when he looks at you and says, "I'm so sorry for your loss, the funeral is going to be $7,000. How would you like to take care of this today?" At this point, you would just say, "Well, Angelo does have a freedom of choice, and everything is taken care of since that point." Since Angelo, in your case, they set aside $15,000. And for Olivia, they also set aside another $15,000 to take care of your funeral expenses and final expenses. What's not used up in the funeral home does get sent back to your beneficiaries. Now, let me ask Angelo and Olivia, isn't it nice to finally have that taken care of in your family?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Now, each of the kids also have a $10,000 benefit that can be converted to $50,000 at the age of 21, regardless of their health and habits. They can also keep it for the rest of their life. Pretty nice, huh?
Yes.
Okay, now Angelo, when something happens to you in any type of accident, not only will they immediately take care of your final expenses, but they are going to also send your family an additional $3,000 to help out during that time when you die in an accident. What kind of accident will it probably be? That's right, a car accident. Okay, In these cases, they are going to set an additional $50,000 and to take care of final expenses. And when traveling on common carrier like a bus, plane, or train, they will send out $150,000. Okay, and each of your children are covered for 20% of that amount for the same accidental death. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay, and the third problem that they're concerned is about paycheck. Now, Angelo, you're on your way from work and you got killed in a car accident or you passed away from a stroke or a heart attack. Is your paycheck going to keep supporting? Is your paycheck going to be coming in to support your family? No, of course not. Okay, so your paycheck vanishes just like that. But taking care of your family, putting food on the table, paying the bills, all stays pretty much the same. So Olivia, the bills keep coming in month after month, and Angelo's paycheck is gone, right?
Yes.
But let me ask you, do you have life insurance, right? Hopefully. Okay, and do you realize that all the members do have life insurance, but what happens in a typical situation when you die, your family immediately has to start dipping into those lump sums. First for reimbursement of your burial or miscellaneous expenses, and then because your paycheck has stopped coming in, they have to start dipping in that for some savings to pay the bills, put food on the table, and then a year or two later, what happens to all the money? It's gone. Completely disappeared. Okay, so here is a paycheck protection. And so, Angelo, if something happens to you, okay, they're going to be sending Olivia $2,400 every month, every single month after that for a minimum of 1 full year. Now, the reason that they have chosen a year is because it's a decent time to adjust, and they've also noticed that a couple of months just isn't enough. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay, what they're going to do in your case, Angelo, when you die, they're going to send Olivia that $2,400 every single month, and when something happens to Angelo as well, they're going to be sending, or when something happens to Olivia, they're going to be sending Angelo that $2,400 as well, and every month, at least for up to a year. Okay, and it's great. Now, Olivia, you're in a position when that does happen. You take the money you received and you get it invested for your future, your children's education and retirement. Does this make any sense?
Yes.
Okay, and Olivia, when something happens to Angelo, once again, you will receive that $2,400. Now, this does build the emergency fund. After 3 years, if things ever get financially tight, okay, there will be some type of money to take care of your program during that time, and you won't have to lose it. There are also paid-up benefits. So when you retire, you can stop contributing to the program and keep a reduced paid-up financial expense benefits for the rest of your life. Pretty nice, huh? Now, have you ever thought about what will you do when you get diagnosed or terminally ill? Okay, well, they also put a lot of thought into that. In fact, they realized that when you're going to need a lot of cash, and when you're diagnosed with a terminal illness and it's not expected to live, okay, they're going to send you at least half of that final expense and paycheck protection, and of course the other half will come after you are gone. And there's also a strike and layoff clause that you can't lose if you're in this program. In fact, in this case of a union strike, they will take care of your insurance benefits for you for up to a year, and you will not have to pay it back, even if you can't work for just 1 day because of a strike. They will take care of your benefits, not only for a week, which is $100, but for the whole month. Okay, which is over $800. And on layoffs, as long as it's if you've been working for the past 12 months, they will take care of your program for up to 3 months. If you've ever been, and you won't have to pay it back, pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
Also, the insurance benefits are guaranteed and non-cancelable, which means if you qualify, there's no matter what happens in the future to your health, age, or habits, no one could ever take these away. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Now, I have to, now that I have showed what setting aside 1 hour will do for your family, let's review to make sure that it's clear. Your accidental injury benefits here for your family, your freedom of choice certificate, okay, and the children for any cause of death until it needs to be used, your paycheck protection, and all the protection of that sick here, your paycheck protection and all your protections on the side here. Make sure no matter what happens moving forward that you will never have to lose your benefits today, even if you change jobs, get sick, or move again. And you'll see why these are important to your family. Now, my job, because of what Mark, okay, did for you, okay, he gave you an opportunity to get enrolled and to see what you qualify for. The best part is that they set up a little payroll deduction, which they do once a month through your own checking account. This way, if you change job, retire, you never have to worry about losing this insurance because it's basically it's under your control, not through your employers or union. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you will have to answer some medical questions to see if you even qualify. But probably the most important question I need to ask you is, when something happens to both of you in a bad car wreck, there will be about $175,000. Who would you want that money to go to? Your child?
Yeah.
Okay, now, it doesn't matter or make a difference to which program you try to qualify. Most families try to qualify for the 1 hour combined with an additional, which is, I went over with you, some families, they can just do the basic program just to get started, and they will be able to upgrade down the road and provide that they qualify. Which way do you want to go? And while you're thinking about which options makes the most sense, I'll go ahead and ask you some medical questions and make sure that you could qualify.